The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. 2016. Such recent history that some of us are still probably putting down 16 when writing the date. No! England voted for a Brexit, and America voted for the Donald.
I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Johnny Depp did a dodgy with his dogs.
You disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
And we lost Bowie, Carrie, Prince, and countless others. The internet was fantastic at naming ships.
Bodie McVoteface tops the list with more than 10 times as many votes as any other option.
And terrible at running a census.
The website has crashed, essentially, both the census website and the ABS website.
But we didn't care because we were all watching Stranger Things and Deadpool.
Oh, hello.
2016 was also a big year for Hamish and Andy, with a week of shows from a cruise ship, a year-long celebration of Andy's birthday, and an East Coast tour for Cool Boys and the Frontman. So let's look back at their year of fun. This is Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks, 2016. And P.S., that means the boys are back live next week.
20th of May, 2016. Hamish has already bought and sold 2 electronic drum kits in his life, but was tempted by the offer of a third from listener Ned.
And we were discussing the topic of electronic drums.
Yes.
Of me, maybe for the third time in my life, buying an electronic drum kit. Because for regular listeners of the show, you'd be aware a couple of weeks ago, you, me, Kathleen, Jackie, we played a gig at the Logie Spit Roast party. We played In Excess's Never Tear Us Apart. We absolutely nailed it.
Yep.
And if it was either of you guys going, if Jack was saying, I want to buy an electronic guitar, I'd say, mate, get one. You're very good at it. If you going, I want to buy another trumpet.
They're called electric guitars.
If you were like, I want to get a manual trumpet, I go, mate, get an analog trumpet because, you know, you were
electronic guitar.
You were pretty shaky. I think electronic guitars are Hot Licks by Mattel. But if you want, like, I want a windy trumpet, like a no batteries trumpet, I'd be like, mate, you know, you've got a few, you don't need any more, but if you want, get one. And that's what the vibe I was sensing in here, and I was saying I should get electronic drums was, you know, was there or thereabouts. Because I know I've had 2 kits before and I've sold them. But as I was trying to stress to you guys yesterday, it's because they were junk kits.
Yes, you are thinking of making the same mistake 3 times.
It's not a mistake if I'm good at it this time and I really love them.
And you keep with it. You don't on-sell it.
So Ned, a listener of the show yesterday, rang up and he said, listen, I've got a very, very good, like, you know, professional quality set.
Yeah.
They're $2,200.
He made a good offer to you.
He was going to sell them for the 2.5 on eBay. So he said, you know, I know they'll go to a good home, but that's a lot of money. So I said, obviously, I'm going to think about it, Ned.
You've got to go back to him today.
Overnight. Well, Ando, I did get back to Ned today. Over the course of the afternoon, I called him a few times as I was thinking through what I was going to do about these drums. And I've got the history of those phone calls put to music for you.
Hello, Ned speaking.
G'day, Ned. It's Hamish. How are you?
Hey, good yourself?
Yeah, really good. Well, a bit tired, actually. I've been up all night thinking about those drums.
Fair enough.
Lying awake in the middle of the night, thinking how the heck I'm living with no drums in my life. Thinking about the snare and the bass and those toms. Oh, Haim, he wants to have drums. Oh, Haim just wants to have drums. When you're slamming on the skins, how does it feel?
Really good.
Doing radio with Andy is nice, but we can't be doing fart jokes for the rest of our life. Gotta find a job where I can be number 1, and that's probably electronic drums. Yeah, hey, might have a gift for E-drums. What's the best song you've played on it?
Probably Hotel California.
Cool. Do you reckon I could play that?
Without a doubt.
That's all I really want. Some drums. If I became really good, do you know what a session drummer earns or a professional drummer?
look, I'll be honest, I used to play Macedonian weddings, right?
Yep.
Now, they throw money traditionally over the band, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, get up to about, 100, 200 per gig.
Right. So within 10 gigs, this thing's paid for itself.
Time to get the business deal done.
Let's talk turkey. We're both men. We're both businessmen. You are offering 2,200.
Yeah.
Would you accept 2,199?
Sold, mate. Sold.
Yes! I got a bloody kit! Oh, hey, he's gone and bought drums. Yeah, hey, he's gone and bought drums.
Okay, I'll just have a quick word to my wife.
No, of course. Look, as I said to you, you're more than welcome to come down. I'll send you photos.
Man, I'm good. Don't worry.
White.
I'm the 2IC at my house, and if you can't have the second in charge make some decisions, why'd you give him the role, you know? This is fine. No permission required. Bought some drums.
What did you say?
I don't think I said anything.
Oh, well, what did you call for then?
Nothing. Just to tell you I love you.
Okay.
And we got some drums. So I'll see you tonight.
Drums. What drums? The drums from the office?
Some good ones.
We have a very clear no drum rule. I don't want a drum, and I definitely don't want Sonny to be a drummer. I don't want drums.
I'm in love with a beautiful girl, and we do lots of jokes to spice up our world. Like pretending someone can't have drums.
No drums. No drums. Where? No.
Yep. Okay, love you. See you later. And I love you.
No
Okay.
drum rule. Can't say it loud enough. Can't drum it into your head.
The girl's just trying to have fun. What she means is she wants him to have drums. Yeah.
No drums. Where? No.
Wants to have drums.
No drums. I don't want drums.
Let him have drums. Woo.
No drums.
Cool. The deal is done.
Very clear no drum rule. I don't want a drum.
I think that means drums.
No drums. No.
Drums.
Have you run an egg back?
Oh, I've had to transfer the money.
You can't, mate. You
No,
can't.
because then that's my next move to Zoe. It's too late. So now I'm between rock and roll and a hard place. The title of my new book about when you have drums, but there's nowhere to put them because they've been told very firmly to
no
not
drums.
keep them here.
Yeah,
but
but
they also can't live at my house. You've got quite a bit of space at your
No,
house.
I've got that much of your stuff at my house.
Oh,
and
come on, mate.
You
Friends
all
are
your
friends.
all your props from yesteryears of
Props, equipment that might come in handy when the apocalypse hits and we need entertainment. Your house will be like a bunker of fun.
Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks.
1st of February 2016.
I know you're probably not going to love this.
Oh no.
And you're probably going to be a bit judgy, but I thought I'd tell you because you might find out anyway. And getting ahead of the scandal, like David Letterman did when he was cheating on his wife. Just thought he came out and broadcast it.
I think it was with one of the people that worked on his show.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is it
No,
Isaac, Carly or Farah?
Yeah, it's Sam.
Good for you.
No, I'm not cheating on Beck. But what I did do on the weekend was between the hours of 2 p.m. on Saturday until 6 p.m. on Sunday, I was nude, completely nude.
Good for you.
For
In public?
28 hours of just nudity.
Was this a last-ditch attempt to be sent to I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here? I can be provocative, guys. Send me to the jungle. I'm ready to go.
I just didn't feel the need.
Household
for clothes.
nudity?
Household nudity, around outside nudity, but just obviously at the house. And then obviously carried it into a mid sleep and then...
So you'd
woke
say
up the
2
next
till
day.
6?
2 p.m. till 6 p.m. the next day.
Oh, right. So you did full over 24 hours of nudity.
28 hours, yeah.
What made you put clothes on at 6 p.m. the next day? When you were so close to going to bed again and getting another 8 to 10 hours.
I was away, I had to drive. I figured...
Mankini? You could have put one of those flesh-coloured socks on that they used in filming to go just in case.
There was things, though, that made me realise that clothes are good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, many years ago, we went to that nudist colony.
Yes.
First year we ever did radio. And that you misinterpreting. I'm not against nudity. I just didn't. I wasn't loving change room nudity, overt change room nudity.
Yep.
It's probably something I've grown out of, though, as I got older. Because, I mean, Jack and I, we're swimming now.
Yeah.
We're nude.
Really? You guys?
Yeah.
Hamish
Well, I
would
mean, we
never do it,
shower.
but you-
Like Jack
Really,
and I,
Jack?
yeah, you have to go nude at the end of the swimming.
Yeah.
And I think we both probably
But I
had
used
that
to say
moment.
We didn't know at the start if we're doing this or not. And then you're like, well, you got to do it. You got to have a shower after you have swimming.
And there's no cubicle showers.
I know
prison
showers.
showers.
Because they're not prison
Yeah,
showers.
I beat up the biggest guy as soon as I went in there.
It's not.
I take a
helpful.
sock full of coins with me just in case I get in a fight.
And so, who went first out of you two? Because in the previous times, you didn't really.
I stripped off first because I think because I'd been swimming the most recently out of the two of us, I was like, Jack, we won't verbalise this, but I'm going to take the togs off because you're a real weirdo if you don't take your bathers off in the shower. And then Jack, I think, was like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. I took mine off first, but I'd say I probably peeked at him more than he peeked at me. And I'm man enough to admit it because I got to say,
Jack, did you catch?
I got to say, Jack, I honestly, I wasn't expecting this obviously to be the topic of conversation, but
did you peek, Jack?
Doing very well. Congratulations.
I didn't peek. I was trying to be.
Did you notice Hamish peeking?
I don't think he peeked, unless he's just got a great peripheral look.
Oh, I got him. I really didn't notice me peeking.
Hamish has great success at peeking over the years.
I actually had to tell myself several times, cut it out, Ham, you've seen enough. You've got a good enough look because I was, may I say, quite... I wasn't surprised. I didn't think you wouldn't... There's no reason for me to think that you wouldn't be well endowed, but it was quite impressive.
This is going to make next Friday when we go swimming again so weird.
I'll be wearing sunnies.
This is Hamish and Andy. 10 years in 10 weeks.
12th of February 2016. After nuding up in the showers after swimming, a few weeks later, things were still awkward between Hamish and Jack.
And a few weeks ago on the show, I wasn't actually meaning to bring this up. I think it was in response to a question that you asked, talking about the fact that Jack and I have been trying to go for swimming lessons.
Yes.
Together, Kathleen, Jack and I, we both had a bit of a chat and went, look, it's not like we can't swim, but we both scraped through primary school, just, last person out of the pool, just did the get the black brick off the bottom of the pool kind of thing, like not impressing anyone at high school with swimming on swimming days, panicking a lot. Just did the bare minimum and then never was so glad. One of the best things about leaving high school was knowing I'd never be forced to swim again in a competitive environment in front of my peers. But as we've got older, we were like, we both actually have sort of like, back issues and stuff. And people go, oh, look, you should swim for, health reasons. So we went, you know what? Maybe as adults we try and swim. Go into swimming lessons, couple of weeks, done it a few times, and you shower together at the end of the swimming lessons. And you were wondering if we shower nude, which obviously you do, after a swim. And it's the prison shower setup, so there's no cubicles or anything, like just spouts coming out of the wall. And, the issue was raised on the show. Was it odd to see Jack nude? I said, not odd.
No. Impressive was the word.
Fearsome. Yeah. I mean, not, and certainly not. I mean, well done, I think, was a phrase that might have... That might have come up. Yep. And trying to, very respectful and stuff, but I was...
You peeped more than he peeped.
I certainly peeped more than once. It wasn't just a bit of, there it is, move on. It was a bit of a,
but then
there it is.
A question
Better have another look.
A question that came up to me about this issue was how many times you've seen it, because you can have good days and bad days as a fellow.
I've only seen it twice, I guess now. We've only done 2 swimming lessons, haven't we, Jack?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We haven't been back since that day.
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
We all had a big laugh on air. I was trying to congratulate Jack. He doesn't want to wear the crown of, triumph that I'm giving us, or wear the golden snake trophy that I went and made up.
Probably why his back's sore.
When you think about
having that kind of weight
Jack,
up
you need to sort of wear a Borat mankini to support the weight from day to day. No, look, I mean, human bodies are wonderful things, no matter what the size or shape, be it small or noticeably big. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
we had a laugh. I thought we did it in a more of an interested way of a friend who you see clothed more often than not. Yep. But we haven't been back to swimming. Now, it's been 2 weeks now since, since it came to light that we talked about being nude in front of each other.
So you think that's stopped because of
I was looking forward to getting... I was looking forward to getting... Harassment is not the word at all. Celebration of a human body. But getting... I was like, I think we talked about it on a Wednesday and we swim on a Friday. I was like, great, we'll get back in a couple of days. We'll, get the demons, get the demons out. We'll just get back into it and it won't be weird anymore. We didn't go that Friday. We had to cancel today. It's just, I feel like it's hanging, it's hanging out there, like as this issue between us now, and I'm worried that it's making things weird between me and Jack.
Do you feel the same, Jack? Well, it's making it harder and harder the further it gets away. And the next swimming lesson, it's making it harder to get back in the shower.
There's going to be so much build-up for that shower scene.
Yes.
I don't think we'll be able to focus during the swimming.
Sure.
We might have to have a shower before we swim. See what I mean? It makes it weird now that we've even talking about it.
Yeah.
131060 though, it's an interesting category when there's a weird nudity issue out there. So someone's been nude in front of you and it's just stopping you now because maybe you did talk about it like Jack and I have. Yep. Maybe that was the wrong thing to do because it's stopping you from having a normal relationship with the person. Just if you've got a weird nudity incident that's affecting a friendship or just an acquaintance.
Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks.
12th of February, 2016.
Calling a spade here. You've started swimming with Jack. The first time you've ever seen him nude, you saw him in the shower.
He's seen me nude tons of times because we're often nude for this show, and Jack's been along for the ride.
And you're a little overwhelmed.
Yep.
With his.
I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just caught me by surprise.
Yes, and
you haven't. And since talking
about it publicly, Jack definitely. I mean, every time we bring this up, you start crossing your arms and itching your back. And you guys haven't been back swimming since we discussed it. You think
logistically we've had to cancel a few swimming lessons, but now it seems like we're not going back to swimming because we have an awkward nudity
issue, which may be the case. Alice,
we need to move past it. Alice, have you got a weird nude situation in your life?
I do. I have a really good friend who, as girls do, we'd love to, get ready before we go out together. And unfortunately, the first time she was like, "Oh, come around, and get ready." I rocked up and she, there she was getting ready completely naked.
And is that not done in the girl world?
No.
It's done. It seems like it's a
I never know what the rules are in the girl world.
It's sort of an unspoken thing.
Am I right by saying in the girl world it's very normal to kind of like for upstairs to be nude?
Yes.
But you just wear pants
the basement,
or skirts.
Covered.
Look, personally I think, a loose-fitting dress would be fine, but there was nothing there.
This isn't me just going, I'm not just trying to script a fantasy here.
No.
From what I have gathered from snippets of conversation while I've tried to play it cool, while I hear from my wife like how things happen when girls are getting ready.
No,
I mean we just have no idea.
No, that's the vibe I'm getting as well.
I thought the vibe was pretty much tops up
fine, bottoms on,
behind closed doors,
which always perplexed me a little bit because it seemed like there was more variation. Hamish has decided to let that go through to the keeper. Russell, 131060.
Me and my boss went to Japan on a business trip. And we ended up in a Japanese onsen, and there's a Japanese bath there, and so we walked into the bathhouse, and we were with another bloke from one of the companies there. And anyways, we thought, okay, we'll wear our boardies, and then all of a sudden he strips down, and then, you follow suit, and we had to go and sit on these little bucket things and scrub ourselves clean, and sitting next to the boss all naked, and the more I scrubbed, the dirtier I felt.
Well, the thing about that's a surprise nudity, isn't it, Russell? Because you would have thought, this can't be any different than like going in a sauna or something where you can wear a towel or, like you said, boardies. But I've been in an onsen too, and I've been in that surprise nude situation.
Suddenly, this is what we're doing.
And you sit on a tiny stool at the start, so you do feel kind of like, you know, you're like a little monkey sitting there clearing yourself on its haunches. It's not a very flattering pose to be in, especially with someone that you brand Nudity with.
Luke, wrap this up for us, mate. Is there a strange nudity situation in your world?
My mum's friend went to Thailand to get her boobs done.
Mm-hmm.
When she's come back, she's asked me if I wanted to see him. I said, no, I think she's a bit older than me, and she just whipped him out anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good work from you saying no. Because,
Yeah.
No winking involved.
No.
Did you say no? Was there? How much of a percentage no was it?
It was like, well, she's like 43. I was 19 at the time.
Yeah,
right. And I was like, she's my mum's best friend. And I was like, yeah, probably shouldn't do that. And,
it's your mum's best friend, not your best friend's mum.
Yeah, not my mum's best friend.
Yeah, right.
And I've never told my mum, so...
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow. Let's hope she's not listening now. But I think the general rule with mum's friends is, you know, I would say that's overstepping the line. But, I mean, you know, probably cost a lot of money. You're excited to show off the new purchase.
Exactly. Thanks, Luke.
This is Hamish and Andy. 10 years in 10 weeks.
27th of July, 2016.
Believe I've got a product idea.
Oh, great.
For a very specific type of diner.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a discrimination happening in restaurants, and I don't think they really even realise that they're doing it themselves.
What do you mean?
Well, you know that I travelled a fair bit by myself over our break.
Yep.
And I counted something that is very tricky to get through, which is having dinner at a restaurant by yourself.
Why'd you do that?
Well,
but you were overseeing mates.
Well, no, I was sort of Sweden, but then the other cities I went to, I wasn't. I was just
a
lone ranger.
I'm impressed. I thought you were one of those people that, like, I've never... Well, I have seen it, but it's rare you see someone try it without a book.
Yes. Well,
or a computer or something. Or not at the bar.
I did a couple... Well, yeah, you normally try and pick places.
Bar meal's okay because you look like you could work at the bar. So they might go, this guy's just got a bit of time off.
But there might be or a venue that has kind of a bar in it, you know, like... Japanese are always very accommodating with restaurants. They've got like a big bar and you can sit up. If you're going for, just say, a fine dining, so someone recommended me a restaurant, I was like, I'll go. Didn't take the book, and I know that's a good plan. Lunches took the book each time because at least you've got some...
Who are you when you're overseas?
No, so I went...
What are you, 60? This is unbelievable.
So I went to this restaurant by myself, and this is what happens every time. As soon as you arrive...
reading the Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance or something by yourself, just eat, pray, love, sitting there eating just a couscous salad and reading Eat, Pray, Love.
So when you arrive, the person at the front always says, table for two?
Yeah.
And you have to say...
oh, my God, but aren't you working? But, I'd love to. I'd love to have lunch with you. Very forward.
You have
Assume you could get a discount, so let's do it.
You have to say, just myself. And they always have a face like, oh.
Yes. Well, not a single table in any restaurant is set up for one.
No, and that's the problem. So sometimes you'll get sat at a table which is for two, and they'll take away
the indignity of. You won't be needing these friend accessories since that's not a problem you have in your life.
Exactly. For the restaurants, they don't, because I've done this a few times. The waiter then comes out who hasn't properly spoken to the person at the front and gone, would you like something while we wait for this person that's coming? And then you have to repeat to that person, no, it's just me, same face. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, loser, essentially.
And because to them, alarm bells will be going off on two fronts. They go, well, who would, like, now, this table we could have had two customers at.
Yeah.
So we've halved our profits.
Yes.
On top of that, usually the kind of person that would eat alone has a coupon. So not only are we getting half off, now there's another 30% off. Yeah. So this guy's just a total leech.
Yeah, exactly.
When they look at you, they just see a big leech sitting at the table.
And then normally that's when they take away the other settings. So you definitely make yourself to remind any other satellite waiters to come past and not
to make a mistake.
Would your friend also like a drink? Would you like it waiting for when they arrive? Here's the thing where I think so you have to endure all that to the start, and then it's normally pretty smooth sailing in the eating process from there, except for one thing.
Everyone else looking at you.
No. When you're a bit through the meal, closing in on the end, I needed to go to the toilet. And
yes,
I was sitting there
how do you save your spot?
How do I save my spot?
Well, isn't there an etiquette thing with it, depending on what code your cutlery sits in? So can you leave your cutlery in a still going position?
Well, which I was going to, but again, it's still It's still just
It is weird to see a table now that he was just with half a spaghetti and a spoon and fork still going.
So I was only using a fork. I was having a spaghetti, only using a fork, so I didn't have the advantage of the knife and fork over the top of each other.
Yep.
Right, so I was sitting there going, gosh, this is where I think it'd be nice to have a sign that says back in 5 minutes.
It'd be good. Like at the pokies.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, hey, still playing.
Instead, I had to call the waitress across and said,
do you mind if I take the spaghetti to the toilet?
This is Hamish and Andy. 10 years in 10 weeks.
14th of October, 2016. Continuing our look at the preparations for the band's tour. And while Andy was driving the tour bus, Hamish had a concern.
People who don't know, we are in a band together. You're on electronic drums. Cackling Jack is on electric guitar. I'm on trumpet. We're called Cool Boys and the Front Man. We have a rotating front person. In the past, we've had gigs with Rob Thomas and Conrad Sewell.
They were cool guys. Awesome. And that was Conrad Sewell screaming there too. And he's a musician. So it gives you an idea of how excited he was.
I know, we had two very famous people playing, and the bits we play back to everybody is just Rob Thomas going, yeah, and Conrad Sewell going, woo!
No, I think that's me going, yeah. So we actually have cut Rob Thomas completely out of that whole thing. To be honest, the most exciting thing is the tour bus.
Yeah.
And you're the bus driver.
Yes.
Which means you're legally obliged to drive us and look after us, make sure we're happy, snacks, customer service.
No. All I have to do is drive you.
But customer service is a big part of being a bus driver.
It's not at all.
False.
Yeah, false.
No, false. It's not at all. True that it is.
No, it's not. Yes,
customer service is a huge part of being a bus driver.
No.
Now you're going to have long socks that'll be all the way up with your garter and stuff, and you're down in your little pit, that hydraulic chair, the bouncy chair.
I'm a cockpit.
You're in the cockpit, and we've been trying, as we mentioned, we've locked in one gig. We're starting in Melbourne. We're finishing in Byron Bay. Now that's, what is that, 2,500 Ks or something like that as the crow flies. So we're probably going to drive a long way as we snake our way up to Byron over that week from Melbourne. You said something the other day that caught my attention, and it sort of made my heart sink a bit, and I reckon Jack's on board as well, where you said, I'd just be super keen to get on the road early each day. And
I did.
Mate, you can have your long socks, you can have your pressed shorts, you can have your school shoes, you can have your bus driver's shirt, but do not ruin this tour for us, man, by making us get up.
We need to make good time. We do.
Don't you bring in your 60-year-old man attitude and be honking the bus, honking the horn, making Jack and I, who are absolute funk monkeys, and we've been gigging so hard the night before and just partying and playing Xbox and at the bar, make us get up and have to pack everything up and secure it so you can, quote unquote, get on the road early.
The tour bus has to leave when the tour bus has to leave, Ham. We have to make good time. We're going to have to
I saw all the benefits of the tour vanish before my eyes with that one statement. What are we saying? How early is early? What do you want us on the road at?
It'd be
9?
7 would be good.
7.
We've got like 5 hours of driving. We're going to do radio shows at the same time.
Oh, it's just...
Do you reckon we just broadcast while driving?
I could. I mean...
what a hero.
Maybe we do a Twitter poll, and if people are happy for the show to just happen with me on the phone, and I'll just lean over occasionally, put the phone near your mouth if you have an opinion on something, but I'll just knock off the show from the bar each day. The thing is, look, don't get us up before 8. Just for me and Jack. Well, do all your tech checks and stuff quietly on the bus and all the safety rigmarole you have to do, and let us sleep till 8. Come on, man.
It's a deal.
I'm a dad on tour.
It's a deal.
We're not getting up at 6:30. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks.
3rd of November, 2016. The East Coast tour for the boys band was fast approaching.
3 weeks, boys, and we're on the road, and we're touring, and that's the most fun. That's why we invented this band tour, because we want to get on the road, and we want to bring joy through music, which we're good at, to people Australia-wide.
Yep.
We're flat out at the moment trying to get the musical side of things up and running because we know that if we're turning up to places like, for instance, the Tuesday night gig, Rankin Springs, middle of New South Wales, town of 300 people, but 1,000 people plus confirmed to be at the pub reopening in that town. We know when we turn up there, we want to put on a good show.
Yep.
And you can't do that without some level of band cohesion and showmanship.
Yep.
Except what we've found in the band
It's been 4 days since we've changed the song. The song is now Long Way to the Top.
We found in the band, and we found ourselves in new territory. We're now in a situation where we were playing a funk song, Uptown Funk. We're now playing a rock and roll song, AC/DC. And a huge burden has fallen upon Jack.
Yes.
The electric guitar part of Long Way to the Top, many people would know, is the whole song.
Prominent.
Drums, I really take a back seat now. Yep. Some sort of small team player medal has been mentioned.
Yes, by you.
And it would be nice to see that placed around my neck or pinned onto my leather jacket lapel.
Interesting you're talking about awarding people with something.
Yeah, well,
we've actually got you a present, Jack.
Got you a little prezzo, Jack.
Because obviously...
Yes. Just in response to the last couple of days...
Hamish is passing over a blue parcel.
Okay. I thought you guys were happy with how I was going on guitar.
That's why
Why would we give you a present? Why would you?
Am I opening it now?
Yeah.
Go for it. Why would you give someone a present if you're unhappy with them?
What are these?
What is it?
They're boots.
Oh, yeah.
But they're way too small for me.
Oh,
okay.
right. So were you saying that you are too big for those boots, are you?
Very good.
Okay, that was so satisfying. I feel like a caveman must have felt when a mammoth just wandered into the trap.
Yep.
Quite big for those boots.
So you're
aren't
saying
they?
you're
too big for those boots.
Well, that's interesting that you're saying you're too big for your boots because that's
Not my
exactly
boots, these boots.
well, they're yours.
They're your boots now, and you're too big for them, aren't you?
That's certainly the feeling we've had as the other members of the band.
I'm glad you brought up the concept of too big for your boots, Jack, because we've put together a bit of a message we'd like you to play.
Yep.
Okay.
Obviously, that's obviously you've just realised you're too big for your boots.
We've had an inkling.
We've had an inkling.
We've had a sniff.
In fact, we've catalogued how big you have been for your boots over the last 4 days.
It's been 4 days since we selected Long Way to the Top as the band's song, and we've watched Jack grow from a timid boy into an arrogant a-hole.
He's trashing studios.
Sorry, I knocked over a microphone.
Calling all the shots in rehearsals.
I'm still going to do no flair here. That's always going to be my feedback, do more into it. I mean, you pulled out halfway through. So it's hard to play stronger.
Yeah. He's scoffing at other members' approach to music.
He's got the music here for this one that we could potentially play in the band.
Don't you use music, do you?
Well, yes.
Are you warming up, or is this it? Have you got your sheet music up?
He started using all this cool new language.
Guys, here's a rock and roll number.
And at times he's flat out refused to play with some other very talented members of the band.
Can I play to a backing track on YouTube? Because he doesn't know the song yet.
And treated others like a personal assistant.
I'll get a grilled flake and chips and a couple of calamari rings. Fried calamari rings.
So please accept your present, Jack, and treat it as a constant reminder to pull your head in, shrink those feet, mate, get back in your boots.
We all got offered fish and chips. We all got offered fish and chips.
Yeah, but that's a shame that you turned to me and yelled at me.
Sorry, Jack,
I want fried calamari.
Just trying to do music. I think now's the time to specify how you want your calamari prepared, Your Highness.
Everything was taken out of context.
This is Hamish and Andy. 10 years in 10 weeks.
22nd of November, 2016.
A weapon being used by middle-aged men and women, I would say, predominantly middle-aged men.
Nerf?
In suburbs. No, it's far more menacing than Nerf.
Well, you can get pretty powerful Nerf these days.
And it's being used regularly, and I want to hear from people that it's been used on.
Okay.
I'll give you the scenario. It was used on me.
A man used this on you?
It was a man. It was a man.
High-pressure hose? Was it really?
Not a high-pressure hose, Ham, but...
Like a window cleaning like the one I've got that you can get me around to your house to do for $15 an hour and I'll do your patio?
Yeah, no, not that. What we're talking about is, I'll set the scene. I had gone down a one-way street.
Mm-hmm. The right way?
The right way.
Good boy.
And then I was realised that the street I was wanting to turn left onto was also one way. I was going to go left onto that for a shorter period of time. Unfortunately, it was one way the opposite direction. But I thought, there's no cars around.
Andy?
There was a fellow, pants well and truly tucked into his shirt and quite high, watering his garden out the front, and he squirted me.
You got squirted. So with a garden hose, with a gun nozzle?
Gun nozzle, and I think I didn't see him, but I reckon he twisted. He twisted. I reckon he twisted into a more forceful nozzle.
Yeah, if I'm watering the shrubs, I'll put it on mist. But he probably got you with either centre or jet if it's got the same settings as my hose.
And it shocked me. And I
did it make, the noise when sharp water hits the side of your car, that and the window?
It made that sound. So I stopped.
Because it's like being
Because I was like, oh my gosh. And I was in shock. And I turned around and there's this guy and he just keeps showering me with water. And then puts it down, and I wind the window down, which is a risk.
No, don't. What are you doing? That's what he wants.
Just a little bit. And I was like, what's the problem? He's like, it's one way. You can't go that way.
I'm not a witch. You can't melt me by squirting me with water.
But I thought, good weapon, because it is harmless.
Squirting someone with a hose is just a wonderful suburban message to send. Because you never mean to, the great thing about the hose squirt is... It's an improvised weapon.
Yes.
And there's always a moment where the penny drops in someone's head and goes, I'm going to squirt this guy. I'm watering. I could squirt him. And he would hate that. People don't like being wet. People are generally like cats during the day. They don't like to get wet. Because you don't go. You can't go, stay there, I'm going to plug in my hose and squirt you.
No. He just went and squirted me. And it just squirted my car as well. So
I know, but it's still such a great...
It was just a shock to the system. It did remind me when we were having a barbecue and... the next door neighbour told us to quieten down.
Great. Good hose squirt.
And we hadn't quietened down.
Yep.
And then a moment later, we just got hosed.
Yeah. Like a really low level riot police hosing.
Yeah, and it shocked us. And we actually finished the party.
Can't do anything back.
You can't do anything back.
Because generally if someone's squirting you, they're prepared to get wet too. Not that you ever can re-hose them.
But no, he was gone by the time...
It is, you're right. It's like the cops on the big cars overseas with the water cannon.
Yeah.
They know they're not getting squirted back. It's the arrogance of being the only person with a hose. It's an amazing move.
Have you been on the end? Have you
been squirted?
Of a squirt? Have you been on the end of a squirt out of anger? No. What was the situation?
Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks.
22nd of November, 2016.
We're wondering... Have you been the receiving end of a hose squirt out of anger?
A good hose squirt silences even the rowdiest opponents. Because a hose squirt is a wonderful weapon in any kind of neighbourhood dispute or dispute. Well, I suppose a dispute within 10 metres of the tap.
Yeah.
Depending on how good your hose is.
I accidentally went the wrong way down a one-way street.
And, of course, if anyone from the licensing authorities is listening, you didn't.
Accidentally.
No, but you just didn't.
I didn't go down. Yeah. I didn't.
And he went the right way down a one-way street, and almost for no reason, maybe because this guy thought that it was the other way, he squirted your car. But anyway, he squirted your car aggressively and told you it was one way.
And I realised this is a weapon, again, normally used by middle-aged men and women.
Yeah.
I never think to go and squirt someone, but I feel like my dad's the kind of guy that would go squirt someone. If your dad would squirt someone.
Our dad squirted me, absolutely. But I'd never bring up anything that could be a squirtable offence near dad. Because I just know it'd be his go-to move.
But if there were hooligans going past and your dad was watering...
But Dad has the aquatic weapons of another level because he's a sprinkler installer. So he's turned sprinklers on people. And that's like the nuclear attack of the squirt. Corbin. Ahoy, mate. Have you been on the other end of a squirt?
Ahoy, boys. How are we going?
Yeah, really good, Corbin.
That's right. I have. Unlike you, Andy, though, I wasn't breaking any road rules.
Either was I, Corbin. We actually just reviewed the footage and it's fine.
Andy just remembered he wasn't. Corbin, what were you doing?
I was leaving a multi-story car park with the windows down, fresh on my P-plates, thought I was killing it. Had the girlfriend in the car. These 14-year-old delinquents decided it'd be funny to use a fire hose reel to spray the inside of my car from the top level of the car park. I almost hit a couple of pedestrians, so that was good. I
I proceeded to drive up the multi-story car park thinking I was going to teach them a lesson and then realised I can't do anything because they're minors.
Well, hang on. So they got you from like a few levels up and you went, right, I'm going to get in there and tell them what's what. But they still had the hose. They could have just squirted you again.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, they ran off by then. So I was left with a drenched car.
So they got it in your window.
That was a great shot.
You have to appreciate the shot. You do have to respect the shot.
Corbin, that's next. That's a bit more high level than
Fire
the ones
hose,
that we're used to. I was more looking for suburban backyard ones.
I mean, again, we cannot condemn the mucking around with vital firefighting equipment.
No.
But I mean, bloody good shot.
Adrian, your father-in-law, he's the kind of person that would use a hose as a combat weapon.
Yeah, Andy, got the cheeky old birthday squirt, did you?
Adrian, come into reception and collect your medal for best caller at your earliest convenience.
Hey, Adrian, two things. There's no such thing as a birthday squirt.
There is now.
And secondly, it's not my birthday. But Adrian,
well done, Adrian. Ahoy for that. Call
Adrian,
time.
Press on.
Yeah, so my father-in-law, when he was a kid, the old elderly gentleman next door was keen on nonna. And he was constantly doing gardening and that, and my father-in-law pointed him in the direction of the garden shed for the lawnmower, and then got him in there, and wasn't impressed, so he locked him in there and threw a little hole in the side. Got the hose onto him for half an hour before Nonna got home. And, this poor old bloke was swearing and carrying on, and when he got out, my father-in-law was nowhere to be seen. He was gone.
So he's going, you think you've got the hots for my wife, so I'm going to lock you in the shed and hose you down?
No, that was his mum. It was his mum, for his mum.
Oh, you got the hots for my mum, so I'm going to hose you down till you cool off.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you.
Either way, it's an amazing move. It's like the adult equivalent of the gingerbread, the Wicked Witch tempting the kids into the oven with like lollies. Going, the lawnmower's in the shed. That's right. You're getting closer. It's a Victor 500.
I haven't seen the film clip for Stacey's mum's got it on, but I don't think there is a scene where the guy locks them up
for half an hour.
Them
often in films they do the breakdown, and that's a really long one for half an hour.
Emma, these have been far more aggressive hose squirts than I expected.
Yeah, these are not just your friendly splashes.
Where's yours sitting?
So my sister and I were fighting in the kitchen one night. I think I was about 17 and she would have been 19. And Mum was watering the garden out the back, and her way of stopping us from fighting was to just stick the hose in the sliding door.
Oh, inside hosing.
Yeah.
That would scare you a lot as a kid, because you go, Mum is destroying the house.
Mum is that angry,
and she doesn't care.
She's willing to take this watering.
She's destroying the cupboards. Yeah. We're in big trouble. That's a good one.
Time for one more, Dale.
These are good.
You're on the receiving end, Dale, of a hosing.
Yes, I have.
Okay, we'll talk
what happened, Dale?
I was going down a one-way street like Andy was. I got squirted, but I pulled over and I had a water pistol in the car and I squirted him back.
Now, but Dale, I mean, in military terms there, he had an ammunition advantage over you because his hose is tapped into an everlasting supply of water.
Yes, he did.
Who won the fight?
Oh, he actually won.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have engaged.
Hamish and Andy, 10 years in 10 weeks.
1st of September 2016. Much of 2016 was spent celebrating Andy's birthday, even though it actually took place in May.
And if there's one thing you've been banging on about all year, it's constantly reminding everyone it's your birthday, it was your birthday week, your birthday month.
Don't do birthdays.
May, and you've been pestering us ever since. And the listeners of the show know it. You don't shut up about your birthday. You insist that everyone makes a huge deal about it. Well, I've always tried to resist the hoo-ha you want made about your birthday, but at the same time, I'm sitting here as a best friend going, all right, well, if he wants a big deal made about his birthday, I suppose for me and Jack, even though it's been going on for a while now, it's our responsibility to do something about it.
You're good friends.
That's why this morning when you called the all-staff meeting and told us, guys, today's a special day. It marks a special anniversary of someone's birthday. We're like, yes, mate, we get it. So I've taken on board what you told us this morning. Do you know that you want a special deal to be made about the 100 days since your birthday? So here it is. Let's start.
Andy, as you made blindingly clear to us, your birthday was on May the 24th this year. Not only were we forced to celebrate that day and your birthday week, but we've been forced to celebrate your birthday year all year.
Happy birthday, Andy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Andy.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Andy.
Thank you. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Andy.
Thank you, Georgia. It was only a few months ago. You won't let us forget it. As the birthday year has continued, did you know that today marks 100 days since your actual birthday? Of course you knew, because you insist on us bringing it up all the time and making a really, really big deal out of you. Well, Andy, as another one in the extremely generous chain of surprises that I've organised today to mark the 100th day of this birthday celebration that shows no sign of stopping, I have organised the greatest gift you've ever received. Prepare myself!
Are you ready? Jack and I were going, what do we get this guy? Some sort of personalised trumpet bought in by a Victoria's Secret model, combining his two favourite things? Like, no, it's too obvious. What's the one thing that he loves more than anything else? Mary Poppins. All right? Okay. It's your favourite movie, book, song, musical. You bloody love it. And then Jack went, look what we found online. Yeah. It's a singing telegram called a sweepergram. A chimney sweep can come in and sing you happy birthday, Ando. Yeah. A chimney sweep, just like in the movie Mary Poppins. Yeah. So that's why I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to organise for a chimney sweep to come in and give you a special performance?
You're looking out there, but I know there's no one out there.
He's busy today. Can you believe it? The sweeper is booked, but we've got him on the phone. Hello, is it Oliver?
G'day, Governor.
Andy, it's your greatest dream come true. Now, Oliver, before we proceed, I understand I'm paying a discounted rate here because I'm getting the telegram over the phone. Is that correct?
Absolutely, you got it.
All right. Well, Oliver, hopefully the money has hit your account.
Hopefully it's not a lot of money.
This is a real thing. Oliver, let Andy have it. Both barrels. Wish him happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
That's you and I.
Happy birthday to you.
This is just like the movie.
Happy 100th day after your birthday, dear Andy. Happy birthday to you. Chim chim chiree, chim chim chiree, chim chim chiree.
From Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
your favourite movie.
Okay.
Hey, Oliver, are you dressed up as the sweeper?
Of course I am.
And you got all the soot and stuff on your face and your hands?
Got the soot, got the brush.
Sure.
All that.
Do you want to ask him any questions, Ando? He's a bit. You would get this a lot with the kids, Oliver. They're a bit starstruck and they don't know what to say. They clam up.
I'll give you one question, Oliver.
Yeah, go for it.
Would you mind hanging up?
No, Oliver. Thank you so much, mate. Can you do? Have you got the chimney sweep with you?
The actual brush.
Yeah. Can you do some brushing just live on the phone for Andy? Can you brush the phone with the brush?
Oliver, you've been good enough.
There you go.
Don't say I don't do anything for you, mate. I got a bloody chimney sweep to sweep the phone for you.
Trusting this, Grumpy Dave, who loves the musicals, already up in the studio.
No, I heard there was free musicals. Oliver, you are top notch, mate, and can't recommend the services of the Sweepergram highly enough. Even over the phone, it still delivers a punch. And I got a little boy here that's absolutely over the moon.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
I'd shake his hand, which would be even luckier. But
okay, thanks, Oliver.
Hamish and Andy.
About to hit into the 9th hour. We're testing today. Can you have too much of a good thing? And I didn't expect to be doing the radio show by myself in the studio and having to cross down to Hamish. I was still on a massage table.
Sorry, mate, just flipping over. You're not by yourself, mate. You're here. You got me. I'm 100% focused on the show.
Sound drunk.
At any given time, I'm about 30% asleep. No, but sorry, just flipping. Just flipping, mate. Hang on, Ando. Sorry, unlucky timing, but yeah, got to stay on your flip schedule.
You've been like a rotisserie the entire day, Ham.
I'm a very relaxed chicken. I'd be a tender chicken if anyone ate me.
I'm a Wagyu marble score of 120 plus because you have been massaged for nearly 9 hours.
Yeah.
You're a minute away from 9 hours.
Well, Sarah's just come back in. She's just relieving Adele.
Yep.
Sarah really has been the hero of today. She's an absolute genius at what she does, and I think this is her 4th stint. this your fourth stint there? We've got sort of like a zookeeper elephant relationship where she's just this absolute professional. She knows my body back to front now. And, you know, and I'm not saying the elephant doesn't have anything to do.
Yes.
I've got to be a good elephant. I've got to lie here and let her do her job.
Well, speaking of, you said today that, and you've said to me in the past, that you always think of great ideas while on the massage table.
It's my happy place. I drift away.
And hence, today you're going to bring us those thoughts because you're in a position to record them.
Well, that's the thing. Normally, I mean, people would have this all the time. You know, when you're asleep or you're having a massage and go, oh, that's a brilliant idea. But you're not going to wake up. You're not going to stop the massage and grab a pen and paper. Luckily, I did get you to leave a dictaphone with me, and that's why I've been recording my table thoughts throughout the day, which I'm more than happy to share, because I'm confident this is my brain at its best.
Bring it on.
Table thoughts. Just while I'm getting a massage. Like an Uber service, but just for lawn mowing. So on a weekend, you just say, yeah, mow your lawn. If anyone around needs help, 4-block radius. I'd log on, I'd use that. Table thoughts. Are you honestly telling me that banana and pineapple is the only fruits you could fry? I just don't think we've looked at the others. Here's some front runners: peach, strawberry, very small apples, grapes. Table thoughts. Strap a virtual reality camera to a dog's head. It just runs around, it forages. Maybe you throw some bones and stuff to it. Then you watch that video using Oculus Rift. Working title for the program: Doggles. Table thoughts. Police have guns and they have stun guns, but both those weapons are to be used on baddies. What about a positive reinforcement tool called the fun gun? And it's a small cannon that can fire, let's say, 8 tubes of M&M minis at civilians who are doing the right thing and having fun. Fun guns. Table thoughts. We've got popcorn chicken. What about popcorn? Very, very lightly dusted, battered popcorn. Fry the popcorn. I'd try that. Table thoughts. Idea for an app, Maths Lock. It's a lock parents put on kids' phones, and anytime they want to look at Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever, they have to answer 2 maths questions. So it's like, yeah, guys, go on Snapchat, but first, what's the cube root of 27? Quick, 3. It's just a good way to incorporate more maths into kids' lives. Table thoughts.
Maths Lock definitely has a future.
Not bad.
Fun guns. Where the police go around and fire candy at people for doing the right thing.
Well, we don't know till we try.
Not a great use of police time.
I think cops storming onto trains late on a Friday night and just firing just shooting tubes of M&M minis at well-behaved patrons.
People that don't have their feet on the seat.
Yeah, I think it's going to make a lot more people who are maybe thinking about getting in trouble go, well, I won't tonight, and I'll get a tube of M&M minis.
Before we go on with the show, though, there's one thing I do need to discuss. Yeah. Should we talk about the elephant in the room? Or should I say the reindeer?
I don't know what you're talking
My giant blind pimple that you pointed out this morning.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it today because radio is not a visual medium, but...
well, you're staring at it still.
Yeah, I am. All day. Today,
to paint the picture, well, may I paint it from my perspective?
Well, get a big canvas.
There we go. Okay. Well, if you want to borrow my sunglasses, because there's a red hue in here. It's like we're in a 1950s dark room. There's the lights bouncing off this glowing red nose I've got. So you guys...
The ladies of the night.
People keep knocking on my chest thinking I'm a brothel. No. It's just a casual red light. I might go and stand next to the Coke sign in King's Cross and see who casts more wattage. This morning, we were all meeting together to film something, actually.
Yep.
That's going to go on the website in a few weeks. Walking together, met down at the beach. For people that get blind pimples, it's a pimple that is extremely painful, red, bulbous, but has no discernible heads. There's nothing you can really do about it.
No.
I've started feeling it last night, and it's as I was putting Sonny to bed and we were wrestling a bit, and I thought he might have just socked me in the nose. And that's what I thought the pain was. But as the night wore on, I went, no, I think we got a blindy here. And it's a bit of hello, pimple, my old friend, because they get it in the same spot all the time.
I haven't seen you with a pimple for like years.
Oh, I've definitely finished with puberty, I would have thought. But this is like the recurring spot. And it's that thing where it hurts, but you're not sure if everyone else can see it. It's like in films when, someone gets in the car and there's a guy in the back seat with a gun. And they're like, drive. And no one else can see them. And you're driving going, God, can everyone else see the danger I'm in here because I'm being threatened
in your
internally?
case, it's a convertible. Oh, we can see the guy in the back.
Okay. All right. I get you. It's a red convertible. So I turned up this morning. I said to Zoe before I left the house, said to my wife, is this weird, this thing on my nose? She goes, can't see it. Don't worry about it. You can feel it, but the rest of the humanity will progress without noticing you. Yeah, good. I thought I was overreacting. Yeah. Driving in the car, I was like, it is sore every time I move my face. Looked in the rearview mirror, tried to see look at myself in the eye like most people would and went, if you're looking at my eyes and you're not focusing on it, I think it's okay. And we're filming something, so just double check. I'm sure I'm making a big deal of this because that's what people with, if you have a pimple, you think
if you've got a little blemish,
no one cares, right? Got out of the car, I was 10 metres away. You pointed at me and went, what's on your nose? What's that thing? What have you got on your face?
Yeah, I thought you were wearing a fake nose.
Are you on your way to a clowning lesson? Have you taken up clowning?
Yeah, and then I realised.
And then you tried to pretend it was all right. So you went, oh, no, mate, it's fine. You said the only reason I noticed it, and I said, is it too red? Is it too red for the camera? Like, no, don't worry about it. Let's position you right in the sun. Then you went, no. The only reason I noticed it is because your nose is a weird shape. So it's so big, it's distorting your face. It's warping the light going around your head.
Yeah.
And I know what you're trying to do. It's because we got band rehearsal today. You're trying to rattle me. You're trying to shake my confidence so I fall down to the bottom. No. I won't fall to the bottom, Ando.
I'll be on the second rung.
I can't go to the bottom. My nose pushes me back up standing. Jack, you would have noticed it.
I think you look fine.
Good friend. No, I'm going to play on with unrattled confidence.
Well done. Hamish and Andy.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I was you.
Thanks for listening to the Hamish and Andy podcast.